I mention in most of my Sony videos that developers should consider moving their games to alternate platforms. And while that might be more difficult than it sounds, developers are reaching the point of frustration where they are not even going to bring games to other regions because they know, inevitably, that it will be censored. Is that how developers want to do business? Being in fear that they cannot spread their creations to multiple audiences because one single company says they can't? Recently, the producer and overseas business developer of LoveR or LoveR have made a few statements that have really disappointed fans, stating how concerned they are about their new release. They explained that they hope to release the game in the West at some point for all audiences to enjoy, since there is a demand for it, since the West has never received a game from Sugiyama, but fans have been made aware that even though they've discussed it, and they would still be very excited to release the title in the West, it is not final yet because it would require a lot of internal discussions because the game is about pure love. It is about characters recalling their memories from when they were younger, and with that comes some scenes where characters hold hands, something that might be seen as more romantic between two younger characters, and since the R in the title of LoveR stands for romance, the game is another one that is highly suggestive, but does not actually show anything besides being suggestive. But of course, these developers are worried that the game would not be accepted in the West because of this. And I bet you all cannot guess the platform that it released in Japan on. The PlayStation 4. Now, one point that I do want to make that they did not discuss is even though it could release on the PlayStation 4 in the West, most likely censored that is, they could always release it uncensored on the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo has stuck by their not censoring third-party games, and they have done a great job doing so. Unfortunately, developers are going to have to get used to the changing of the standards on the part of Sony, and they should start seriously considering alternative platforms. Now, I cannot say this for sure, but I am pretty confident in the fact that a lot of their audience would also have a Nintendo Switch. I know so many people that live in the West that enjoy these types of games and have switched platforms, or at least own multiple platforms to enjoy games on one that were censored on another. And let's also consider things realistically. If this game came to the West, it would for sure be censored in one way or another by Sony. They have let very little slip through their awfully unspecific guidelines. I just feel so bad for these developers. They do not deserve to deal with these situations. Creating something that they are very proud of and that many people would enjoy, but they are worried to release it in another region because they know it has a high possibility of receiving forced changes. They should not have to worry about releasing it in other regions because one platform will censor it. They should be able to share their creations without having that extra stress. And if they still wanted to bring it to the West, they would also have to consider when it was censored how many sales they would lose. Not because people do not like the game or because people will not support the game, but because people like myself will not purchase changed games, and Sony doesn't care. They do not care that their forced policies could be hurting a company. They only care about what they think is right and what they think is acceptable. They think that these games need to be censored for the children, yet children cannot even purchase these types of games. So all they are really doing is forcing their adult consumer base to go elsewhere for the products that they want. In the end, I really wish Sony would just get a hefty dose of reality fed to them. They deserve it at this point, and it's just so sad to see so many developers become frustrated with these situations. Please make sure to give this video a like if you did enjoy and a dislike if you did not enjoy. I appreciate your support either way. Make sure to subscribe and also share this video if you want to support developers and bring more awareness to what they are feeling and how they are suffering. But I hope that you did enjoy this video, and I will talk to you guys again in the next one really soon.